As of right now, it's 7:14 a.m. and we are about to start a 24-hour reading challenge. Now, I plan to take no breaks, not pausing the timer at all. We are just reading 24 hours straight. I have an audiobook on my phone, so if I do want to change locations, like go to a coffee shop, something like that, I can, and I'll still be reading that entire time. To be real honest with y'all, I haven't stayed up past 3 a.m. since I was like 16 years old, and that was 6 years ago. This is gonna be a really interesting 24 hours. I also didn't sleep great last night, so we're going into 24 hours of no sleep with already under 8 hours of sleep.
This is a bad idea.
This is a good idea.
Are you sure about that?
You know the deal with these 24-hour challenges. We're gonna read. I'm not gonna use my phone, computer, not gonna do anything else but read today. But before I do that, we do need to start the timer on my phone. All right, we've got our timer going. Let's get to reading. I love the writing in this book. It is so easy to read, and I'm so glad I picked it to be the first one. I may take a break in the middle of it because it is almost 500 pages long, so I may switch over to an easier book in the middle of this depending on how I'm feeling. But hopefully we can get this knocked out and a couple of others as well. I am 67 pages in right now. We have over 22 hours left. We're not that far in, clearly. But this book, I think it's gonna be exciting, and this is exactly what I needed today. It's been very fast-paced and very interesting. Not what I expected from this book, but I'm really liking it. I'm hoping it keeps up with where the story is going currently, and just is a way more intense book than I thought I was getting this morning.
Loved this kind of story. When she was still a child and the world was small and she dreamed of open doors.
Okay, so I started The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So good, y'all.
I love it! I love it!
I don't know what I was expecting from this book, but I am fascinated by the story. I feel like I can see a couple of plot points they're gonna focus on, but besides that, I've gone in blind to this book. I thought this was a mystery. I didn't think this was more of a fantasy, like sci-fi. It's like modern day fantasy, time travel, very interesting. I'm very excited to listen to it through the next 24 hours. But we are outside of Barnes. I'm probably gonna plug in my AirPods, walk around, look at some books. I may pick up a novel love story if it's on sale, because I really do want to read that, and I feel like this 24 hours time span would be perfect for it. We're already like 100 pages into Vow of Thieves. I am a slow reader, so I'm gonna do my best to get through as many books as possible, but your girl reads at a turtle pace, unfortunately. She's getting better at it. I think we're picking up the pace. We're about to go into Barnes, do a little shopping, do a little perusal, and then I think we're really just gonna hang out and read the rest of the day. What time is it? Oh my gosh. It's almost 3 o'clock. We still have 16 hours left on this timer. I am now... Oh no. Sorry, bookmark just fell out. We're good though. I am more than halfway through this, so I should be done with this book around 5 or 6 o'clock, which will give us 12 hours. And all the other books are way shorter than this, so I should be able to finish about 2 more in this time span, I think, depending on how fast I can read. But they're mysteries, so they should be fast-paced and keep me up tonight is the goal of those books. But this book has been so much better than I was expecting. I had heard poor things about it, but I'm really liking the storyline in it. It's kind of a twist on the story that we saw in the first version in a really interesting way that we're seeing it play it out. The stakes are really high in this book. You're just, whoa. The villain that they've introduced in this book is amazing. I love the villain's story arc, everything that's going on there, everything that's going on in this world. I didn't know exactly how they were going to make this book interesting because it seemed like it was going to go in a very different direction, but this has gone in a perfect direction. I am 250 pages in and I am just fascinated and ready to just plow through the rest of this book. I am losing it a little. My eyes are starting to get a little tired, but we're gonna keep going. This keeps roping me back in. I'll probably sit outside later tonight once it cools off and that should help wake me up. And then your girl can't do caffeine because she has a horrible intolerance to it. It'll either give me a migraine or an anxiety attack, and we don't really want either of those, so I just don't drink it. But I can handle the minimal amount that's in like an Olipop, so we'll have one of those tonight, and hopefully that helps keep me up. But so far it's not feeling too crazy. It's feeling like a normal Saturday that I put aside for reading a book the whole day. I just know I will be going insane later. Yeah, right now we're just chilling. I'm gonna get back to reading. We finished the first book of this endeavor. It only took me 13 hours. To be fair, there's about 2 of those hours where I was either listening or, no, I was just listening to another book for 2 of those hours. I had to take short little breaks to do a couple other things, but those were less than a minute, so. I'm a slow reader. In all fairness, this font is tiny. This book though, overall, a great time. I realized while reading this book, I am absolutely scarred from reading the Red Rising series and no character ever being safe. I just thought every character was gonna die all the time in this book. That didn't really happen. So that was a really nice relief for me.
We made it! We did it! We made it!
We've got the big fantasy book out of the way. We're gonna get into some fun thriller stuff like that. I'm gonna go pick up some pad thai and listen more to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Then we'll settle in for the night and get to the losing my mind slowly hours, because that's creeping up quickly. The sun is setting. The fear setting in. My heart's pitter-pattering a little faster. But this was a really good end to the series. I think I like this one more than the first book. I would give this 4.5. I wish the stakes had actually been a little higher. I thought they were. 4.5 seems like a really solid rating for this book. I really enjoyed it though. It's just not quite up there with my 5-star books, if that makes sense. I feel so stingy when I give a book 4.5, but like that's what feels right. It's not a 5-star, but it's not really a 4-star. It's a 4.5. I don't need to explain myself, but I'm gonna. This lighting isn't great, but it'll do. It'll do. Like I said, I did finish this. I did just want to add on that the last 20 pages of this book were unnecessary, and I skimmed through them very fast. There was a couple cute things in there, but it was already a 400 and something page long book. I didn't need the last 20 pages. Everything was already wrapped up nicely. I shouldn't complain about, because I'm pretty sure if I would have read this at a normal pace, I would have enjoyed it, but I was just really ready to move on to another book today. We're putting this down. We have 10-ish hours left. Yeah, 10-ish hours left. I just got food. And then I've listened to just over 2.5 hours of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which has been a great book. I know I've said that every time I talked about it, but it really is a fascinating little story, and I do like it. I'm gonna eat my food, listen to more of that while I eat my food, and then we're gonna dive into one of these mysteries, because I feel like they have the best chance of keeping me interested and awake tonight. They're both really solid mysteries. I don't know which one to dive into first, but I'll cross that bridge in a few minutes once I eat my food, because I'm starving. I don't think I've had anything since I ate that breakfast sandwich this morning. That's on me. That's my fault. I'm gonna eat now. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think this is a bad sign, but I'm already a little tired, and it is 9 o'clock. I planned for this because I know myself, and I start getting tired around this time, and I'm normally, if you know, I'm normally asleep by 10:30. We're gonna break into an Olipop. We're gonna have some sugar from some gluten-free wafer cookies that are really freaking good for some reason. I don't know why they're this good, but they are. So I'm gonna eat some of these. I just had food. We are gonna pick up, I still can't decide. Riley Sager is very popular, and this novel or book itself is actually pretty popular. I also feel like if there's one I'm gonna DNF out of the two, it might be this one. So I'm thinking maybe we start with this, and so if I want to DNF it, I have another book on standby already. Yeah? Sound like a plan? Great, because that's the plan. What's your favorite Olipop? I'm a big fan of root beer and big fan of the root beer, and a big fan of that cream soda. That root beer. The only ones I don't like are the Dr. Pepper knockoff and the Coca-Cola knockoff. I like the cherry Coke. That one tastes good, but those other two are not for me. They did root beer good. Tastes like a little root beer float. Okay, I'm gonna read now. That's why you're here. It's not to hear me say root beer 50,000 times. All right, The House Across the Lace by Riley Sager. The Boston Globe. I love Boston. Yep, we're losing it. This man just has praises for all his different books at the start of this, which I find a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, spooky. If you don't know, I'm a huge wuss when it comes to anything scary. Why does this have a Taylor Swift song lyric in the front? What's happening? Taylor Swift. I think he did it, but I just can't prove it. No body, no crime song. Okay, great. That seems fitting. It's darker than a coffin with the lid shut. Whoa! Anyways. Oh, this is a nice floppy book. Love that. Something about just the writing is creepy. Anyways, here's a like saying now. This might be the most wild first 7 pages I've ever read in my life. Talk about a hook. Oh my gosh. It's finally cold in the house, so I got a sweater on, but we're still in Patriots gear because I have a theme today, apparently. Am I 100 pages in? I'm almost 100 pages in. Can't find a page number. I'm like just under 100 pages into this book, and it is a pretty good little mystery so far. I wasn't enjoying it the first little bit. Well, I was, but I thought I knew exactly what was going to happen and how it was going to play out. I don't know why, because I never actually know how stories are going to play out. I just say that with a lot of confidence, and I have no track record to back that up. I still think I know who did it in this book. I think I know the culprit. That may just be delusion talking, but I think I know. And I'm going to be so happy if I'm right about it. But you're kind of following a then and now timeline in this. The now timeline is very brief. You're basically getting all of it before, but you're getting a little context of where the story is at now. And as you saw my reaction to the start of this book, it's kind of a wild start. Not gonna lie. But I think I'm feeling pretty optimistic about getting through this book tonight. We still have a little over 7 hours left in our time on here. It's just about to be midnight. And we started this at 7:14. So that is what we'll end this challenge tomorrow. I think I can definitely get through this. Hopefully another book. If desperation and just sleep, no. Lack of sleep. If lack of sleep leads me to it, I will just put on an audiobook for the last little bit and we'll listen to that. But right now it's only 12 o'clock. We're still trekking along. It's really not that late for most people my age, I feel like, but I stayed up late all in my teen years. I was homeschooled. I just did school later in the day. It was fine. Mental check-in. I'm still mostly there. I'm yawning a lot. Hey? Yeah? There's my proof. Huh. I'm yawning a lot. Clearly. This book is keeping my interest. It feels like it's so strange because this book you're kind of reading about somebody who's low-key like acting like a little stalker in a way. And so I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you shouldn't be doing this. And then her inner monologue is, I shouldn't be doing this. So it's just two people looking at each other agreeing that she shouldn't be doing this. But you know what she's doing? She's spying. I want to know how this ends. I want to know who done it. Who done it? Who committed the crimes? They're talking about drownings very casually in this book. But I feel like most of them aren't actually accidental drownings. I feel like somebody is behind it, and that could just be my delusion reading into this book right now. But that's what I think is going on. Did that words? I think we're dealing with a low-key
What just happened?
serial killer in this book. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. If you've read this book and you're laughing at me right now, stop it. I'm just a girl. I don't know. I don't know why I got tabs out for this book. I don't tab mystery books. Like, what would I tab? Suspicion points? That would make sense. I'm not tabbing this book. My reading comprehension? Uh-oh. My reading comprehension has dropped so far down. I feel like I'm reading at a sloth pace.
Huh?
My eyes are watery because I'm so tired. It's 1 a.m. right now. And we still have 6 hours to go?
I want to go to sleep.
We still have 6 hours to go. I'm talking with y'all because I was falling asleep while reading the book and I needed to get some words out and have a little chit chat. Winnie is keeping me company. She is doing a valiant effort with me. She's doing a great job. Number 1 moral support right there. I will say this book, it's getting more and more intense, so I'm really glad I'm reading this right now because I don't know what I would be doing with a boring book. You know what I would be doing with a boring book? I'd be going, guys, I don't know if I'm made for this 24-hour challenge. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna make a valiant effort.
I just realized I can sleep with my eyes open.
How is it as a teenager we can just do this so easily? But I feel like most 21-year-olds can also do this easily, but not me. We're on a struggle bus. This is probably the most amount of pages I have ever read in a day. We are at 600 pages right now. And remember, I read at a glacial pace. And then how many? I want to say we got 3 hours into Addie LaRue, which I'm excited to keep listening to that after this is over. Yeah, I got 17% into Addie LaRue, so just under 3 hours. I just don't know how people do this. I'm gonna do my best. Next time I start to get a little sleepy, maybe we'll do a little dance party. I've got some like mystery music from Spotify playing on my TV. I am doing everything I can to keep my eyelids open. And that includes taking a long break to talk with y'all. Because when I talk with y'all, my energy goes up. So that's why we're still rambling. Shockingly, my eyes don't hurt too much from reading so many freaking pages. It helps that Vow of Thieves was just like a solid book. I swear I heard people say they didn't like that book, so I wasn't expecting to like it. And I had honestly been avoiding it. Because when I hear people say they don't like the next book in a series, I just avoid it so I can just live in my happy little ignorant world for that series. Oh, okay. Woo, 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 woo. Anybody know that? It's a SpongeBob sound. And you're on woo, woo, woo. That's all I can think about. And my dog's passed out. Alright. Nah, I've stalled enough. I need to get back to my reading. Alright, I know. Let's get some reading done. am taking none of the words in from this book. Pretty sure you can see me drifting off every few seconds in the last clip. I'm gonna put on an audiobook and see if I can just recenter for a second. It is almost 2 a.m. We only have, it's still like 6 something hours left. Oh my word, it's been paused. Wait, no. When did that happen? My timer was paused for 40 minutes almost. So this is at 6:17. Don't make me do math right now. I'm already out of it. I got it back on track. 5 hours and 36 minutes. We have almost been up for 20 hours. Which, I mean, for your girl who doesn't stay up that late is like really good right now. But I'm going to put on my audiobook and listen to that. Do my darndest not to fall asleep. This is way harder than I thought. I thought this would be a walk in the park. I thought I was just gonna conquer it, but the way I can't make it through a sentence without my eyes getting super heavy and closing on me, not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting up, laying down. It doesn't matter. Oh gosh. Okay.
We cannot catch her. His heavy steps falter and slow, and Addie thinks she's free right before she hears the crisp, bright sound of a bell ringing on the stable wall, followed by the sound of boots coming from outside. Catch it. She drives away down and back.
2:36. Yep, that's the time. I'm still up. We are making great progress by listening to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think this was definitely the move. I'm just playing some very simple phone games that don't take up any brain power, so I'm still getting this beautiful story, but I'm not falling asleep every other sentence. I can't talk in sentences anymore. Too tired. I just want to go to sleep. I'm trying my best, but we're gonna see how much longer I make it, because I'm doing the best I can. The best I can. It's not even 3 a.m. yet. I'm gonna make it to 3 a.m. Only 4.5 hours left. That is such a good time. We've almost made it 20 hours now, which I feel like is pretty impressive. But we're gonna keep listening to this. And yeah, I'll come back with more updates. I'm exhausted right now. Have y'all pulled an all-nighter lately? Like, when's the last time you did that? Because like I said, I'm pretty sure I was 16 the last time I've even attempted this. I'm not 16 right now. I also forgot one of my daily medications. Makes me drowsy, and I take it at night, so I'm sure that's not helping. Oh. Okay. Gonna keep listening.
Rambling on about all the things you did not.
I have bad news and good news. I obviously fell asleep for a little bit. The good news is, it's still only 5:22, so I'm gonna turn on my lamp and read for the little under 2 hours we have left. We're gonna finish out strong. Race towards the finish line. Sprinting. I'm gonna go down sprinting. Yeah, no, I could absolutely just fall asleep right now again. I know I don't have to do this to myself, but who doesn't want to finish what they started, right?
He sighs in compliment.
It's over. The timer is done. I had my Aura ring on. We've read for 24 hours. We got through one whole book and then 2 halves of other books. I am halfway through The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because I did listen to that on audio through the night to kind of keep reading instead of just failing miserably. So I got that done. And then we were halfway through here. I will be finishing this soon, hopefully, but I need some sleep because I was just falling asleep while reading this. But it is very entertaining. There's only so much you can combat when you don't have any sleep in your system. For the 24 hours, I spent most of it reading, and then, let's see here. I had my Aura ring on so we can see how much sleep I actually did end up getting. The total amount of sleep I have currently is 3 hours and 33 minutes. This was an interesting way to spend a day. I'm gonna go get a couple more hours of sleep and then continue on with life, I guess. Definitely the most pages I've ever read in the day, so that feels nice. Yeah, I just really need some sleep right now, y'all. Thanks for hanging out as I put myself through this for who knows why. Anyways, do all those fun YouTube things if you enjoyed this pure chaos of a video. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.